Hey, are you considering hosting your website using Bluehost or GoDaddy? Let's find out together if either of these internet giants are good options for you. Today, I'm bringing you two US-based hosting providers, arguably the largest ones, GoDaddy and Bluehost. In this video, I'll tell you about their good points, but also the bad ones. By the way, we've tested both providers' uptime and speed. And spoiler alert, one of them was almost 70% slower. Stay tuned to find out which one. You probably already know this, but both GoDaddy and Bluehost offer much more than shared hosting services. Both offer WordPress-focused hosting plans, VPS, and dedicated packages. You can also purchase domain names from both, and GoDaddy even offers email hosting plans. However, in this review, we'll test the shared hosting plans as this is their most popular product. Alright, the first thing you need to notice is that both Bluehost and GoDaddy offer very cheap hosting plans. Good, right? Wait, not so fast. When you look at their renewal prices for shared hosting, what was once affordable doesn't seem so great anymore. Also, be aware that hosting providers want to lock you in for as long as possible, which is why they offer juicy discounts if you commit for 120 months. For instance, GoDaddy starts at $5.99, and their top-tier plan costs you $19.99 with the discounted rate. But renewal prices for 12-month deals are much higher, at $8.99 and almost $25 respectively. And Bluehost? Well, this hosting provider lets you pay as little as $2.95 a month for a 12-month deal, but it renews at 3 times the price, and similar rates apply to the other plans. Be aware that most hosting providers change their pricing quite often, so prices may look a bit different for you at the moment. Check out our written reviews at tooltester.com to get the most up-to-date rates. Alright, now that you know how much each of these providers will cost you, let me reveal what's under the hood. Let's find out what features they offer and what they don't. The good thing is that neither GoDaddy nor Bluehost set any limitations to the number of visitors you can have. I must say that Bluehost is a bit more generous with the storage across all plans, though GoDaddy isn't stingy either. There is also a limitation to the total number of files you can host. This is 200,000 for most of Bluehost's plans, and 250,000 for GoDaddy's. Again, this is pretty generous, so it shouldn't be a problem for most site owners. Both are good, but Bluehost bags the point for storage as it is slightly more generous. If having your own email address, like emma@yourwebsite.com, is what you're after, then it's good to know that both GoDaddy and Bluehost's shared hosting plans offer email accounts. GoDaddy will allow you to create 10, 100, 500, or unlimited accounts depending on the plan you choose. While Bluehost will allow you to create 5 with the entry-level plan and unlimited accounts with the other 2 packages. In this case, both providers get a point each. Well done! When things go south, having a recent backup of your site that you can quickly restore can make all the difference. Believe me, I've been there. Neither GoDaddy nor Bluehost have your back here. Their default options for backups are just, bad. In fact, Bluehost only offers backups with the most expensive plan. And GoDaddy's hosting plans only offer the clunky default cPanel backup features. But guess what both do offer? A paid backup add-on so you open your wallet again and make them richer. I don't feel great about the lack of serious backup options. You should check out other providers like SiteGround if you need a more robust backup system. Check the link in the top right corner for more information. And you guessed it right, I'm not giving either of them a point this time. If your audience is based mainly in the United States or Canada, this next section is not that relevant. However, if you are primarily targeting users outside North America, bear in mind that only GoDaddy has data centers in Europe and Asia, which should provide better loading speeds. Since Bluehost only offers servers in the US, this is an easy win for GoDaddy. Many of us use WordPress as the CMS of choice to create our websites with. Sadly, Bluehost and GoDaddy's shared plans don't offer much for WordPress. Sure, you can install and use this popular CMS with them, but let me tell you what WordPress-focused features they lack. There's no staging area for you to test new code and plugins, though this is most likely not needed unless you plan to mess around with your site's code. Neither offer optimized hosting servers for WordPress or WordPress optimization plugins like SiteGround does. No WordPress-focused support or a system to manage your WordPress and plugin updates. Both providers do offer WordPress-focused hosting plans where some of these features are offered, but of course the prices are much higher. With these two, it's all about getting you to pay a bit extra. Performance is a critical factor when hosting a website, and luckily for you, at Tooltester we regularly test all the hosts we review. Basically, we created identical sites for each provider and benchmark them for speed and uptime. We've been checking the uptime of these two providers for over 12 months, and Bluehost performed a bit better than GoDaddy. As you can see, GoDaddy had a 99.95% rate, which is acceptable, but Bluehost showed muscle with a 99.99%. Therefore, another point for Bluehost. We use tools like GTmetrix and Pingdom to measure the loading times of each provider from several worldwide locations. This time, however, Bluehost disappointed big time. As you can see, it turned out to be the slowest of the contenders and much slower than GoDaddy. Be aware that GoDaddy wasn't the fastest provider either in our tests. It was just okay. So this next point needs to go to GoDaddy thanks to Bluehost's efforts to slow the internet down. And finally, the last point I want to check is the customer support. Both GoDaddy and Bluehost offer 24/7 support over live chat and phone. However, at times you may need to wait a bit, especially if you contact them outside regular business hours. Sadly, I had bad experiences with both Bluehost and GoDaddy support. The support agents seemed more interested in offering me upgrades and paid add-ons than actually hearing what my issues or questions were. Sorry, but I can't give a point to either of them, so let's give half a point each since they half offer support. I'd suggest you check out our reviews on Tooltester.com if you need a more caring provider when it comes to customer support. So who won the comparison? Well, it turns out it's a draw, 3.5 each. However, as I've said, both hosting providers lack important features like backups, and their respective customer support isn't the greatest. In general, Bluehost and GoDaddy are good providers for those users that don't make money out of their website. For instance, having a small cafe or bakery website with either of these providers is okay. But if you have a popular blog, or if you're looking to host an e-commerce site, I'd suggest you check out other providers such as SiteGround or A2 Hosting instead. Having said this, I also think that Bluehost and GoDaddy's price tags are a bit too high for what they offer. Other providers such as DreamHost offer a bit more at cheaper prices. That's it. We got to the end of the video. I hope you found it useful. Subscribe to Tooltester's YouTube channel to watch similar videos. And see you soon.